Good morning, stamping friends. How's everyone doing today? I hope you had a great Mother's Day weekend. I sure did. I got to spend time with my kids that are here in town and then a phone call to my son in Atlanta. So it was just really a good weekend. And special bonus, I got to spend time with my mom on Saturday. So I have been busy in my craft room playing with new products from our new catalog. Do you love the catalog? I sure do, and I'm going to share more about how you can get some free in colors later on in my video. But I'm really excited to share with you, and if you're a tea lover, I think you're going to love this project. So hang tight and let me switch my phone around and get the right view here, and we will get moving ahead with this project today. Thank you for joining me. Are there any tea lovers out there? Even if you're not a tea lover, you might know someone who is. So I'm really excited to share today's project with you. We are using the brand new stamp set, actually the bundle. This set does have dies with it, and it's called A Cup of Tea. Let me just share with you the die set. And you know what, I have some of them out of the pack, so I'll show you these, and then here's the picture with all of them, but I have some of these set to the side because I'm going to be cutting from them. But isn't that a cute little set? And just to give you an idea, I'll tell you how large these cups are. They're 1.5 inches, so they're pretty small. They're going to fit on a lot of things, but they're just really cute. So that's the main product we're going to use, and then there's also a coordinating designer series paper set that goes with this. There are oodles of patterns here. Look at this, 2 sides full. And these are the coordinating colors here: basic white, crumb cake, crushed curry, fresh freesia, garden green, orchid or oasis, parakeet party, petal pink, starry sky, sweet sorbet, and Tahitian tide. This uses a lot of the in colors, so this is going to be a great palette to work with. So this is called Tea Boutique, and it comes in 6x6 paper. You can do lots of color combinations. All right, I'm going to do the order a little bit different today because I'm going to try something, and you please let me know if you like this better or if I go back to my old way. My new way is I'm going to show you all the paper and the dimensions and what you cut out, and then we will assemble the project. The other way I did it is I kind of pre-cut everything and we just kind of made it as we went along. And I pretty much die cut everything, but I want to share a new product with you as well. So let me grab all my pieces of paper. The first thing we're going to do is start with basic white. This is 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. And then I also wrote where it is in the card because some of these shapes are similar. And so I wanted to know which piece it was. This is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. You don't know anything about these directions, inside left. That'll make sense more later. The next one is this designer series paper, 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and we're actually using this print. And I'm going to keep it that way so I know what to do with it. This one is 3 3/8 by 3 3/8, and this is crushed curry. The next one is 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. This is sweet sorbet. And the next one is 3 3/8 by 3 3/8, and this one we are using this pattern. That's why I can write on the back, it won't matter. And then this piece is just a scrap, and this piece is just a scrap of crushed curry. This piece is 3 1/2 by 2. And this piece is definitely scrap. We're going to use the tea bag out of this one. So those are the dimensions there. I will have them in the little project sheet that I always like to give to you. And so hopefully you got all those. And the next thing we're going to do is some die cutting. This is a new product that we have, and it's called the magnetic cutting plate. This is going to be an awesome tool for us because you know how sometimes when you have your dies on your platform, they kind of dance around, and if your platform isn't completely flat, sometimes we use washi tape to hold them down, but this should prevent us from doing that. Look, I haven't even used it yet. So one side has kind of more of a matte feel to it. It's light gray, and the Stampin' Up logo and the number 5, they number these so you know the order, that's going to go upwards. So don't cut on this side. Actually, this side isn't even magnetic, so you're going to know which side it is. And then you're also going to need the die cut this piece. It's just number 1. It's just kind of that base plate. So we're just going to layer the base plate, then the magnetic plate, and then you'll need the clear, just the basic acrylic layer. All right, so let's start by cutting out one of the teacups. Actually, we are only going to use 1 teacup. So what we're going to do is just put this right on here, and it seems kind of scary, like, oh my gosh, we normally have a plate to protect something, but this one we are going to cut right on here. It's a self-healing one, and you can feel that it is magnet and it's sticking. And what I'm going to do is I want my teacup to have the flowers right in the center. So I am just going to place it right here. And because I have a few things to die cut, I'm also going to do that cute little lemon. So I'm going to use the crushed curry, and I don't know if I'm still in the camera here. And we're just going to use 2 of these. They're the same color, but you will be able to see difference because it'll be one layer on top of the other. And you know what? I have one more thing. So let's squeeze all 3 of them on here. You can tell they're sticking. The other one is this 3 1/8 by 3 1/8, and we are going to cut this with the largest square in Stylish Shapes dies. And oh, I just love that it's sticking. I'm not used to that. I want to quick show you Stylish dies because this is a gem to have. Stylish Shapes dies. Look at all these dies in here. Circles, squares, and banners, and they have that stitching on them. So it's so nice to see these dies. These are basic shapes. We haven't had squares for a while, so it'll be nice to work with squares. And that's a die set that is kind of a must in my opinion. I got that on my first order because I knew I'd be using it a lot. All right, now we're just gonna, I think that's all for die cutting. Well, there's one more, but it's gonna take up the whole plate. Now we're just gonna put this on top, and let's hope it works because this is my first time using it. So wind it through, and let's see what it looks like when it comes out. I'm curious what it looks like when it cuts into it. And let me grab my pick tool, take a pick, and just lift it up there. Oh, you can barely see it in there. You can definitely see an indentation, and this is, you know, going to get marked up, but it's okay. It says self-healing, so hopefully it will heal itself. And then the red one and the lemon. Oh, this is so awesome. All right, now let's die cut that second piece that we need quick. We are actually going to use the Pretty Pillow Box die. This was actually in our Christmas holiday catalog, but we are going to use just the top portion, and the piece I'm going to use with this is the 3 1/2 by 2 inches. This is really just kind of a scrap piece, but we just want that top flap here, and this is basic white, and you don't even have to run this. Whoops, I forgot the base plate under here. That will not be thick enough if I don't use that. All right, and whoops, and one more thing. I want to get the detailed, do you see the detailing in this? I want that in there as well. Oh, I made a few of these and I didn't have the magnetic plate at that point, but this is so nice. It's gonna stay right where I want it. All right, now let's just run the top part through. I just got a shock. So. All right, now, you see how it cuts out all those cute little things in there? That just looks like tea, doesn't it? And then you can kind of pierce these if they don't come out, or you can use that brush tool that we have as well. All right, I'm just gonna move this for the time being because I think we're done with that. And we'll set this to the side, but I just wanted to get all that die cutting. One more thing that I did die cut, I'm not sure if I'm going to use it yet because I'm kind of creating it a little bit as I go along, but I cut out just the handle here because I thought I might want to add a solid handle here. So, but I'm going to play with it as the card comes together and let you know on that. All right, let me move all these pieces and scraps, get them in the right piles. And let me poke the rest of the lemon wedgies out. There we go. All right. Now the base of our card is going to be Sweet Sorbet, and this is a 10 1/2 by 3 1/2 inch piece of cardstock, and then I scored it at 3 1/2 and 7 right here. All right, now before we start folding it, I do have a little cut that we need to make here. So bring your Stampin' Trimmer, and we are just gonna go from the top of this score line right here to the bottom point. And how you can find exactly where you're going is look for the dark ridge in the middle. That's where the blade is gonna cut. So just top point there, the bottom point at the bottom, and then just slice there. And the other cut that we're gonna do is with, let me think here, another floral piece, and this is going to be 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 again, and we're just gonna go from corner to corner, like that. And I need, this is the piece I need. All right, we can put that away. Now we are ready to start assembling our little project. Let's start by the card base. We are just going to fold on both score lines, and let me grab my bone folder here. That makes a crisper edge. They're a really nice tool to have. And then this one will go the other way. Just make sure the bottom's lined up. There we go. So this is going to fold like that. Now for the front of this, we're going to use from the Tea Boutique Designer Series paper, and we are just going to put this on the front of the card. And this is a crushed curry in the paper with white. Just center that on the front. I like stripes going up usually when I make cards. All right. I wouldn't typically put those colors together, but you'll see in the Designer Series paper, it's going to look nice. All right, now that's really all, well, that's all that's going to be on the front of this. Now we're going to build the next layer. And remember that frame that I cut out with the Sweet Sorbet, the largest square? So we're going to use this, and then we're going to put that white piece on the front. This was, let me remind you, well, this is already cut. It was 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. This one is the 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. And that one is going to be a really snug fit right in the middle of this last layer. Are you guys liking the new catalog? I can't keep my nose out of it. Oh, I just flipped from one thing to the next. And I just really am enjoying it. I keep thinking, oh, I can wait on this, I can wait on this, and then I end up ordering it because some of the, take a look at the dies section. I'm really impressed with the dies that we have in this catalog. All right, now we're going to build that teacup on here. So let me get the teacup, and you help me decide. Here it is plain, and then here it is. I'll need to trim this down a little bit, but this is if we put, I don't know, maybe I like it plain. Let me cut it down a little bit. Let's see, I'll see if I can follow along here. Not really sure where to make the, let's just cut on the edge here. We'll just follow this line. I don't know, do you like it like that? Or do you think I should just leave it plain? I think I like it. You can decide when you make yours, but and I also like my silicone mat because sometimes I'm messy with my green glue and it goes over the edge. So just put a couple little dots. You don't want too much sticking out. There we go. Just make sure that lines up really nice. All right, now we are going to put this on the card front. But before that, remember this little piece that we cut out? That was the top of the pillow box. I guess I do need my trimmer one more time. We're going to cut this down just a little bit more. So what I would do is just place this in here, and I would make this about, I would put this at about 1 and in between, like at about 7/8. Do you see here? Here's 1 inch, here's 7/8. Make it about 7/8 and just try to make it as straight as you can when we make this line. All right. That looks pretty straight. It might be going a little bit wonky. Yep, it's going downhill just a little bit. So we'll just slide it over a little bit. You know what? I'm going to just freehand it because I can kind of see where it needs to be. There we go. I'll keep whittling it down. Pretty soon I won't have any more. All right, that's pretty good. Now, the reason I did that is I want this to be kind of like a little doily. Doesn't that look like a doily? Oh, I think that's cute. And then we're going to use dimensionals on this. So let me grab those. However, you can see there's not a lot of room. There's enough room to put one right smack in the center here, like that. But I'm going to need a little bit of support over on each of these ends. So I'm going to take my scissors, I had my smaller one nearby, and I'm just going to cut some in half like this. Just put those on the very edge. That way they'll stay down and not be flopping. All right. So are you guys tell me if you're tea lovers or coffee drinkers too. I'm more of a coffee drinker, but I'm trying so hard to learn to like tea because I know tea is better for me than coffee, but I can't give up my peppermint mocha creamer. Plus, on my blog, all my things would be outdated if I switched to tea. So I'll probably stick with coffee, but I do have a lot of tea friends. All right, now the next one is going to be the teacup. However, I want this to be higher than this, so I'm going to use my foam adhesive strip and just stick this on the back, and I just rip. I know it would probably be just as easy to cut it, but I'm just ripping it. All right, now let's put that on the front. But before we do that, we need to make a little tea bag, so I'm going to make that before I adhere that. All right, so take your little scrap piece, and we are going to stamp, and we are going to use Sweet Sorbet and Crushed Curry, the two colors that we seem to be working with. And we are going to stamp this with Crushed Curry for the outside of the tea bag, and then on the inside, I'm going to stamp I Miss You with Sweet Sorbet. Now, I forgot we had to die cut this, so let me come right back and I will die cut this. All right, there we have it. Now, the next thing we're going to do is take some white baker's twine, and the nice thing about this is you're going to get a whole array of different colors here with the white, and this is called Baker's Twine Essential Pack. Item number is 155475, and I have been using all those colors, so it's kind of nice that they just group them all together. And then we're just going to grab a glue dot and put a little dot at the top of this. Whoops. Like this. And then we're going to place this on the front of our teacup, but I do want to put a dimensional under this, and I think one large will fit perfectly, and also you'll want to secure it again so it's kind of double adhesive with the glue dot and the dimensional. All right, so I'm just going to place it right about here. We don't want to cover up, maybe I'll go on this side so we don't cover up all those flowers. And we'll go like that, and then what you want to do is just kind of let it hang over the edge, but you don't want it too tight. So let's see how it's a little bit 3D, like that. All right, now we can just put this on the back, and I think I'll stick, one more glue dot down just so that it doesn't go anywhere. Let me grab. Now, another good way to get glue dots off here so you don't feel like you're all fingers is just use your take a pick tool. And let me see where I wanted to put that again. I'm going to have it hang over just a little bit like that. And we'll just stick it right there and then put the baker's twine right smack on that glue dot. All right, then just trim that off. And now we're ready to put this on the front of the card. And because it's foam adhesive strips, it is going to pop up higher than the doily on the bottom. I think that's straight. Maybe not quite. I have to tilt it up towards me so I can see. There we go. All right, now we can go ahead and put this on the front of the card, on the front of the little, can you tell what it's going to be? It's going to be a tea packet. All right. So we're going to go like that. And I'm going to use 4 dimensionals in the corner. And, you know, I know you might be thinking, oh, that's getting so thick. This is going to be thick anyway because I am actually going to put a tea bag inside. That's what the inside flap is for. So it doesn't really matter to me if it's getting thicker because either way I'm going to have to put it in a, like a bubble wrap, or maybe this would be a card that I have a tea themed gift that I give a friend. All right. Now, make sure that looks straight. Yep. All right, now let's do this flap. What you want to do is make the teeniest, tiniest line that you can. Let me get this in case I go off a little bit. And you don't want it too wide or a lot, because we don't want it to splurt out, and we want to be able to stick that tea bag in there. So just fold that right along there. And then we need to put some designer series paper on this side, and that's why I chose the coordinating floral print. So I'll just add some glue. Again, that dimension before I cut it was 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And that should fit nicely on there with a small little border. All right, it's coming together. Now, I like to decorate the left side of this as well, and that's why we cut this one 3 3/8 by 3 3/8. So let's adhere that one. Do you like this color combo? What do you think of crushed curry with the sweet sorbet? I'm still learning the names of these. Oh my gosh. Pretty soon they'll roll off my tongue, but oh, it's all this new stuff at one time. And then the other one is the 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Now it's up to you. If you want to put a sentiment on here, you can, which I think I am going to. Look at how many nice ones. For I Miss You, I think I would do Let's Get Together Soon. Oh, you could do any of these. I'll do Let's Get Together Soon. And I think I'm going to use, I'll use the sweet sorbet. That one shows up just a little bit better because it's darker. All right. Now, do you see my S is not clear? I forgot to use my pad, but that's why these markers are nice. You can, there's a journal end, and you can just kind of fill in the rest of that S that didn't come through, and that's all you have to do. That alone makes it worth getting the markers, I tell you. All right, let's adhere this now. And I forgot one little thing that we need to do, and you could decorate this even more. You could stamp the little lemon on the bottom. I probably should have done that. I like to decorate the inside as well, but I wanted to get the main things done. Actually, I don't think I can because it's too wobbly because of the other side, but a cute little lemon would be cute, or a lemon down there would be cute. All right, let's add that little lemon on the front now. I think it'll be nice to add a little bit more yellow or crushed curry in there. So what we're going to do is try to get as little as you can for the glue on the back. So I'm only going to make a few dots, enough to make it stick, but not so much that it starts coming out the other end. This is actually when a tweezer would come in handy. Do you have one of these? Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell them, but I just think anytime you can extend your fingers, it's easier to work with. So just place that right on top of the half circle, and it's the exact same size on the outside. All right. Oh, it's so cute. Now we'll kind of balance off the tea bag on that side, and I think I will put it, first I need a couple dimensionals. I'm going to put 2 on so it doesn't tilt left and right. When you put 2 on, it won't go that way. And you help me decide, where do you think that should go? Should it go off? Is it usually touching the tea, or is it down a ways? I think we'll put it maybe down in the corner. There we go. All right, now the last thing we're missing is that little tea bag that goes inside. I only have 2 teas in my cupboard. I have a green tea, and I had another one that was a purple wrapper. Do you ever go to the store when you're making things and you just buy it according to what color it is? I guess there is a little bit of green in there, so I thought green would be closer than purple. So this just slips right in there. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to tie this shut. Now normally what I do, but I wanted to show you another little trick here in case you ever need to thread something through. Normally when I'm doing these assembly line, which I have to make a few more of these, I would put the ribbon that will tie it shut on before I put this here. But I want to show you what this little trick can do so that you can feed things through. As you know, I put 4 dimensionals on all the corners. This is actually a dental flosser, or people that have braces use this. And it's basically like a long needle, and you can get these at the drugstore or Target, anywhere really. And I'm using the seam binding crinkled ribbon in basic white. So what we're gonna do is feed it through like it's the eye of a needle, and then you just go through here and watch it come out the other end, and it's like you're sewing. You just pull that through. Isn't that cool? I use that a lot. That's why I don't fill the backs of my cards with dimensionals, because sometimes you don't really know if it needs ribbon, say on a basic card, until it's the end, and then you go, oh, I wish I would have put ribbon around it or whatever. This is a way that you can add it after the card's almost done. So just kind of use your judgment. I like to leave the roll by me because I don't waste as much. If you cut off a hunk and then you don't use it all, then you're just kind of wasting it. So I'm just going to tie this in a bow here. If you like colored ribbon, you could color it with blends, but I didn't want it the same color as the base of the card, so that's why I chose white, and I'm going to keep it white. Just tie like that and snip off the end. Now we have a completed project. There's our little tea bag holder. Isn't that fun? Well, I hope you enjoyed that. And like I said, I will have the project sheet on my blog, so go check that out. And if you see any of these products that you like, please use my host code, and I'll put the link to my store. And if you could use that host code, and if your order is over $35, you will qualify for my Creative View. And if you put your order in by today, May 10th, my deadline is always the 10th of every month, then you will receive May's 3 free projects. And I think you're going to like them because I'm using all new product. And so this isn't one that we're going to be using this month, but I wanted to share that with you. And what else did I want to share with you? Oh, the starter kit. So if you like these in colors, and let me show you, I have a little color chart here. I make these every year with, these are our brights, regals, neutrals, and subtles. And then each year I just have to make the new, the one with the in colors. So these are the ones we had last year, but they last 2 years. So this is still in. And then these are the new ones. But you know what? With the promotion going on right now, you can get all these new in colors for free if you buy the starter kit. Now, what you'll get with this is you get the ink pads, the cardstock, and the designer series paper. And you also get grid sheets. Grid sheets are the square, like the checkered, you know, with the measurements on. I don't usually use it when I do my videos, but you will get a stack of that you can use when you stamp on things, so that kind of like when I use this. So in case you go over, or you know, in case it bleeds through, that grid paper will soak that up for you. So anyway, but the starter kit is only $99, but you get to choose $125. And I can promise you, with a new catalog, you are going to find things that will add up to $125. And then once you're done picking out your items, then Stampin' Up! Is going to throw in that bundle of in-color products that's worth $66.50. I know some of you have already taken advantage of that, so thank you so much. And I would just love to have you on my team. So if that interests you, and you know what, give it a test drive. If you're not comfortable with it, you can just let your demonstratorship go. But in the meantime, you got all the new in colors for free, and it was definitely worth that. Well, thank you everyone so much for joining me today. And remember, I do my YouTube lives on Tuesday mornings at 9 o'clock Arizona time. So I will see you in another week. You guys take care, and thank you again for joining me. Bye-bye.